Christmas is supposed to feel safe. It's the time of year when lights soften the dark, when doors stay unlocked a little longer, when people believe, just for a while, that nothing truly bad will happen, that the world slows down, that danger takes a break. But for some people, Christmas didn't bring comfort. It brought silence. It brought fear. And in 4 cases, it brought something so horrific that the holiday itself was never the same again. These are not legends. These are not campfire tales. These are 4 true Christmas horror stories, told not to shock you, but to remind you how thin the line between warmth and terror can be. The first story begins on Christmas Eve, in a quiet suburban neighborhood where nothing ever seemed to happen. Snow had fallen earlier that afternoon, soft and steady, covering lawns and rooftops like a promise. Inside the houses, families cooked, laughed, wrapped last-minute gifts. Music played low in the background. In one home, a woman named Karen waited for her husband and daughter to return from a quick trip to the store. "Just milk," she had said. 5 minutes. The house was peaceful. Too peaceful. Karen sat on the couch, scrolling through her phone, half listening to the ticking of the wall clock. When she heard a sound upstairs, she didn't panic. Houses make noise, especially in winter. Then she heard it again. Footsteps, slow, careful. She called out her husband's name. No answer. She stood, heart beating faster now, and took a few steps toward the staircase. Halfway up, she noticed something that made her stomach drop. The attic ladder was down. They never used it. Before she could react, the footsteps rushed toward her. The man had been hiding in their attic for 3 days. Police later said he entered through the roof while the family was out and survived on their food, listening to them laugh, watching them decorate for Christmas below him. Karen survived. Her husband and daughter arrived home to flashing lights and officers everywhere. Christmas was canceled forever in that house. The second story takes us to a small rural town where everyone knew everyone, or at least believed they did. A group of teenagers decided to spend Christmas night driving around, bored, restless, looking for something to do. Snow lined the roads. The town felt empty. Around midnight, they saw a man dressed as Santa standing near the woods at the edge of town. He was waving, laughing. They thought it was a joke. Someone's dad. Someone trying to scare kids. They slowed down, rolled the window halfway. "Hey, Santa," one of them shouted. The man stepped closer. That's when they noticed his suit was stained dark around the stomach, and that he wasn't wearing boots, just socks. He asked them for help, said his car had broken down. The driver hesitated. The man leaned forward, and the interior light revealed his face. It wasn't makeup. It was blood. They drove off. Police found the man an hour later, dead from multiple stab wounds, self-inflicted according to investigators. No car, no knife recovered. To this day, no one knows why he was there or who he was waving at before the teenagers arrived. The third story happened inside a hospital, the last place anyone expects horror on Christmas morning. A nurse working the overnight shift noticed something strange in the pediatric wing. One room's call button kept activating, but no one was assigned to that room. The child who had stayed there passed away the week before, Christmas Eve. The nurse assumed it was a system error, until she heard singing. A soft voice humming a Christmas carol from inside the empty room. She opened the door. The room was cold. the bed untouched, but the call button was lit. Later that morning, another nurse found a handprint on the window, small, like a child's, pressed from the inside. Hospital administrators sealed the room. Staff quietly refuse assignments near it on Christmas Eve. The fourth story is the most disturbing because it was captured on video. A family set up a camera near their Christmas tree to record their kids opening presents in the morning. They went to bed excited, exhausted, happy. The footage showed something else. At 2:14 a.m., the camera picked up movement. A tall figure entered the living room, not wearing a mask, not rushing. He stood there for several minutes, staring at the tree, at the presents, at the hallway leading to the bedrooms. Then he bent down and gently rearranged a gift, placing it back exactly where it was. Before leaving, he turned toward the camera and smiled. Police identified him days later. He had been living in their crawl space. He had watched them for weeks. Christmas morning came anyway. The children laughed. The parents smiled. But they watched the footage later and realized how close they came to never having another holiday at all. These stories don't end with lessons. They don't tie themselves up neatly. They linger. Because Christmas doesn't protect you. Lights don't stop evil. Tradition doesn't scare it away. Sometimes, the scariest moments happen when we feel safest, when we believe nothing bad could possibly happen. And that's what makes these stories truly horrific. Not the blood, not the shadows, but the timing. Because while the world was celebrating, something else was watching.